And we're back. Hello, everybody. DarkPhoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 as the German Reich. Last time we left off, we delivered our ultimatum to Poland to hand over Danzig and the surrounding territories or face war, and I ended that right then, right before they could respond, because it felt like an appropriate time to call close to it. So this episode we'll be seeing how they respond, and I have a feeling it's going to be a rejection. Also last time, we pulled off the war economy integration national focus, meaning that Hungary and legionary Romania are now our puppet states. So, yes, they work for us. And we just agree that they can keep telling everyone they're independent, but they're actually technically part of Germany. Anyways, that's what we're going to be doing this time. So, without further ado, let's get started by picking a new national focus. We could go with the Reichskommissariat, but I'm not going to because I really have no interest in establishing puppet governments in either France or Poland, which are going to be the two people we conquer more immediately. That said, it will come in handy pretty soon on because of some of the things that I'm planning to do. I could get some more synthetic... I could get a bit of a synthetic refinery resource output buff for some more rubber, so that we can move down to an extra research slot, but not really bothered by that, honestly. I could also take the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact for a treaty with the Soviets, but do you know what? I actually think I might skip that one. Just because that, if we skip it, we don't have to hand over half of Poland to the Russians for a little bit. So I just won't bother with it. So it's either, I think it's either Army Innovations 2 or alternatively to that, Operation Westerabung. I think that's how you say it. We could just wait and do that a bit later down the line since it's pretty short. That will give us the chance to go after Denmark and Norway, which I would also probably include Sweden on that list, because of reasons. Anyways, let's see, what do I go for? For the time being, I think I'll make it Army Innovations 2, just for that extra experience and the ability to research a couple of army things a little faster. Since our primary focus is going to be on the army, we want to stick with that for now. We're kind of struggling for rubber a little bit, but I'm just going to deal with that for the time being. Military factories. I'm going to stick down a couple more military factories. That way, we can do a little bit more producing military equipment, because we're going to need that at some point. That's a good number of them, I think. So, I'll just drag them up here in my list to above the dockyards. which these dockyards will probably never get finished because I'm just going to keep reprioritizing what I want to build first. From dockyards to military factories, even more as we conquer more places, or not necessarily conquer, more occupy, seeing as I don't actually know if we'll manage to finish the war. Just because it tends to take a while, and as I explained in the introductory video, I've never actually pulled off a successful invasion of the UK as Germany, and you kind of have to invade the UK to win the war. There doesn't usually tend to be any way to get them to surrender without actually invading the home isles, and I've never managed that. Not for lack of trying either. I'm just generally rather bad at that whole thing. For the most part. So, one last factory here. There, that's everything set up as we want it. And now I'm gonna kick us down to 2 speed. Thank you for that. I don't know why it decided to freeze like that. This is so weird. Anyways. We can remove some colors and shit, but I don't really care for that. I'm going to unpause the game now, and we'll see how Poland responds. I have a feeling they're not going to feel all that inclined to hand over Danzig, though. And indeed, they have refused our ultimatum. Considering the demands, it seemed inevitable. Poland would be forced to cede Danzig to Germany, and a Polish plenipotentiary would be sent to Berlin to negotiate further terms. Ignacy Wosinski pointed to the German Reich's recent actions when stating that it was obvious Germany would not be satisfied with Danzig alone. German and Polish forces are prepared for war, and reports are already coming in of clashes on the border. Once again, there is war in Europe. Then it is war. Or it is war as soon as it ticks over 1 day and we get our war goal. Yes, they refuse to cede Danzig. Despite our attempts to allow Poland to hand over Danzig peacefully, even vowing to give up our claims on other German territories in exchange, we have been met with refusal. As expected, the world gives nothing to us that we do not seize by force. They know very well what the alternative is, and we gain a core on Danzig and the Conquer war goal. Poland, it is time to go to war. And France and the UK are guaranteeing Poland, so this will call them in as well. We'll also remove the Mifo Bill's national spirit. And I'm going to call in all our allies, which includes both Italy and our puppet states of Romania, Hungary, and Slovakia. So Poland is quite thoroughly boned. We will call them in. And then both of these armies can begin their attack. And I want you to attack aggressively. Go. And we have called in a bunch of people. Poland has joined the Allies. We're not getting all our tungsten from Sweden, unfortunately. Soviets, you mind giving us a little more tungsten to make up for the fact that undoubtedly the Royal Navy is sinking a bunch of our transports and shit. Let's see. Those are our submarines under Karl Dönitz. I think it's convoy raiding time. Once I actually manage to do this correctly, let's go raid some convoys. Let's see. North Sea, English Channel, Western approaches. That will do for now. We want to cut off the British. So Dönitz can go do convoy raiding around the British Isles. That will be his job. Our actual battleship fleet I'm going to keep in port for now, just because I am not an idiot. The British Navy would tear them a new asshole if I deployed that fleet. We're not getting all our oil. The Alpine region, down there in Italy, and such air superiority and all. Right now, we are pushing back the Poles. And while there is some conflict with the French, it's taking place primarily along the Italian border. Italy is the one taking the fight to the French. But also, at the moment, the entirety of the British Dominion is joining our war. Did I not... Oh, I didn't properly set their engagement rules. I want it to be do not engage. Not to go after warships. Their job is to sink convoys, not engage warships. India has just joined the war against us. Apologies for that popping, that beeping noise just now. That was a notification on my computer. Where is this? Let's see. Westfalen. Who over here do we have not doing something? Air superiority and interception. And close air support. These guys here are tactical bombers. Need to go on close air support. You're good. Western Poland. Actually, we're good. The ones that it's saying. The ones that I'm getting the message do not actually have orders, and we are coming under attack by the French in a few places. There's some border skirmishes. Those couple of air wings that don't have orders, that's because the orders they were given were to actually support our offensives, and we're not making any offensives on the Western Front yet. I'm focusing on Poland for now. But our troops have reached Danzig. It's a little bit of an uphill battle to actually take the city for the time being, but we are making progress. South Africa has just joined in, as has Australia. So with both Australia and Canada in, if you want to get technical about it, this is officially a world war now. And Danzig has now finally been isolated from the rest of Poland. So they're going to start to choke and run out of supplies. Nationalist Spain is offering us 3 divisions as volunteers. Excellent. We have a slight rubber problem, but that should be resolved soon enough. And our rapid offensive is continuing. And it's not we're not quite there yet, but we are almost to Danzig. Sorry. Slight slip of the tongue there. We're already at Danzig. We are almost to Warsaw, is what I meant. Those divisions there can see. I want them to see if they can't swing around and take Warsaw out from behind the poles and just finish this a little faster. And it looks like we may pull that off. We hold Warsaw now. Let's check what Poland's status is. We need to get them down a little bit more for their victory points and all, but Poland will probably surrender soon enough. The fall of Warsaw. German forces advancing in Poland have succeeded in capturing Warsaw. Sporadic fighting continues in Praga and a few other districts, but organized resistance in the city seems to have ceased. The Polish government reportedly evacuated the city as first German units entered the suburbs, and their present location is unknown. Fighting against the German invaders continues in other parts of the country, but the loss of the capital is a serious blow to the Polish war effort. Another victory for the fatherland. Yes, indeed. We have yet to actually capture it, Danzig, which is probably part of what has the Polish holding out. The fact that the thing we declared war over, technically, was Danzig, and we don't hold that yet. It's their provisional capital for now, but our war score is creeping up, so Danzig is likely to fall soon. We've still got fighting raging on the French-Italian border. And 97% in our favor at Danzig. Slovakia wants to send us 3 divisions. I don't know how that works, people sending you expeditionary forces when they are already participating in your war. I always thought that was a little baffling. But Danzig has now fallen. Poland controls 24%. We are literally sitting on the edge of victory. Just a handful more provinces, and we should be able to make Poland capitulate to us. We just need to take like one more city. Lwów here. If we could take that, if our puppets could manage to seize it, then this war would be over. Things are going well for us, and over on the Franco-German border, there's not really any activity. If I had to guess, it's because we put those fortifications on the border, so the French are probably equally as skeptical about the military feasibility of attacking across a fortified border as we are. That's part of the reason why we haven't launched any attacks yet. They're down 1%. We still need to take another city. But Excavation 1 research is finished, which will increase how efficiently we gain resources. Next, I'm going to research oil processing so we can get more output from our synthetic refineries. I don't have any synthetic refineries right now, but I'm going to want to get them eventually, because at the moment we are pretty much totally reliant on a combination of Romania and the Soviets to get our oil. And I do not like relying on other countries for a certain resource. Particularly not a country that I will be invading in the future, like the Soviets. Because yes, we will be invading them at some point. 22%. Poland is approaching defeat. See if you can't go over there and take Brest-Litovsk. That will give us what we need to claim victory and make Poland surrender. Okay, what's your war score like now? They're at 20%, literally. So if we don't lose anything major in the next 24 hours, then this war is over. Well, the war isn't over, but the Polish front will be wrapped up. I'm dropping us down to 1 speed. Okay. Let's see what happens. A few of our defenses are kind of not going so well. Apparently, something happened. It must be that for some reason that because we were at exactly 20%, there must be some calculation thing in the game where if you're at exactly 20%, it doesn't want to let them surrender. It's kind of unusual because it said if they control 20% or less, and I looked. You saw it. They controlled exactly 20%. Now they're at 19. The divisions Nationalist Spain promised us have just arrived. Hungary wants to send us 9 divisions. Romania wants to send us 8. I'll accept both. Let's see. I'll get to that research thing in a second, but Poland has now capitulated. The war... Let's see, I'll actually read the event, because it is actually part of what's going on. Adolf Hitler has announced that the cowardly Polish nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of German forces throughout the country. The Polish government chose to flee the country and has gone into exile. Their main forces have capitulated, and the German Reich is now in control of their home area. Though the war against what remains of the Allies continues elsewhere, this is a great victory for all the Axis. And because Poland capitulated, we've gained access to 50% of all their stockpiled equipment. That's 58.1 thousand of some infantry equipment, 1,500 support equipment, and 1.7k other. So Poland has now surrendered. This is excellent. It really is. The Schwerpunkt research on the mobile warfare doctrine tree has finally completed. I could keep going down that tree and just getting better and better mobile warfare stuff, but I'm not gonna. I don't think so, anyways. I'm going to now research construction 2 so we can build things faster, because I am constructing a lot of factories and we want to be able to do that. Now, Poland has fallen, and apparently there were no Allied troops in the region. The Allies didn't have any troops in Poland, so the Polish can't keep control of a bit of their homeland because there are some British troops there or something. But what I'm going to do now is set up our forces to prepare for an invasion of Denmark. Because like I said, we are getting a lot of important resources from Scandinavia, and the thing is, if somehow the Allies were able to convince these countries from ceasing to supply us with that stuff, then we would be in trouble. So I'm gonna preempt that by invading Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. Now I'm going to take our airplanes and move a bunch of them. Oh, that place isn't going to have what we need to send all of them. Let's see, 124, 164, 240, 220. There. Send them over here. Split up that Air Force a bit. Now, we're assigning you guys to Western Germany. They recently arrived, so little bit of a problem with that, but close air support and interception is present like that. Mission efficiency is going to creep up as we go along. Italy is not really accomplishing anything, but I didn't expect anything more from Italy. What they are managing to do is hold the French in position there, and I have yet to experience any French offensives in the area, so I can put up with that. And now we have a lot more industry from the conquest of Poland. So what I'm going to do is reallocate it. To produce a bunch more medium tanks, as well as one of those into industry, and now one more goes towards convoys, I think.
Ihre Befehle?
Okay. Get rid of them. This army is kind of a rough, thrown together mix of my own troops plus some expeditionary forces, so I'll give you the army in question. And stick them on the border with Luxembourg. Yes, Luxembourg. After all, we plan to invade Luxembourg at some stage. So I may as well have an army on their border. We have some subs in port making repairs. Right now, let's actually check things out over here. We managed to sink a number of enemy ships, but I've lost a handful of submarines to that. Oh. Resistance to occupation is becoming a problem in Poland.
Ihre Befehle? Bereit.
Okay, now.
Ihre Befehle?
Those are all volunteer divisions. Other people. I don't think you actually need an army, but I'm going to stick them down in Poland. The only thing I want you to do is guard against resistance to occupation. Keeping Polish partisans from getting any ideas.
Achtung! Zuhören!
That's your job, and I'm not even going to give you a general. I will rename you, though, on the Polish occupation. I don't really need nearly as many as I'm sending there, but those are all volunteers that we were sent from our allies and puppets, so whatever, I suppose. If I was to decide, fuck it, just fabricate a war goal, or justify even a war goal on the Danes, it would only take 35 days. That's slightly more than it's going to take through the actual national focus once we get to that point. But I don't think I really want to wait for the focus. Fuck it. Just start fabricating. Give me a justification to go to war with the Danes. It'll be finished in 8th of January 1940, and then we can invade Denmark. Then move on to Sweden. Goodbye, resistance to occupation. Poland will remain under our control, it looks like. While we're doing that, I'm also going to begin preparing through a conquer war goal, and I want to see if any of this would all cost the same. Friesland. I have an army sitting on the Dutch border for that very reason. We're just going to attack the Dutch. And if you want to know why I'm not also doing the same for Belgium, I'm going to do the same, I'm just going to do it later, because if I declare war on the Netherlands and force them to surrender before we go after Belgium, rather than declaring on both at once, if I do it one at a time, then the Allies will not be able to send troops to support the Dutch by land, because if I declared war on both Belgium and the Netherlands right now, then France would have a land connection to them. They could send troops through there to stop me in the Low Countries. Whereas, if I make the Netherlands surrender first and then move on Belgium afterwards, they'll only be able to try to stop me in Belgium. And they'll have all my armies that I'm using in both the Netherlands and Belgium to use against France. So it'll just be a lot more effective if I wait and do it one at a time. That said, I'm going to start justifying on Luxembourg as... Or I'm going to do that when I have more political power, is what I meant to say. Okay, I was going to say I'd do that now because Luxembourg is small and irrelevant, but I guess we'll be waiting. Speaking of the Dutch, 30th of May 1940, and you are the 8th of January. Right now, the war still rages on the Italian border, but the French appear to have come to their senses about trying to do something as stupid as attacking me across our fortifications. For the moment, I'll kick it up to 3 speed just while we wait for things to happen. Hang on a second. The hell? Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what happened. OBS just had a pop-up asking me if I was sure I wanted to exit, but I know I never hit the exit program button. That's so bizarre. Oil processing is done. I'm going to continue moving down the unrestricted submarine warfare in the Naval Doctrines branch for now. We have a lot of oil and rubber needs now. English Channel Naval Combat. Now the Western approaches. So yeah, I'm more just kind of hammering away at the British and French at sea right now, and trying to inflict whatever damage I can to their convoys. More than anything else, to be perfectly honest. And as for what kind of success I'm having there, it's a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. I'm doing okay in some places, but in others, kind of getting my butt whooped. How's my submarine production doing? Well, I'm making about 2 submarines every month, so not nearly enough to be keeping up with my losses. Not at all. And that's another defeat by the British Navy at sea. Okay. We're looking at some relatively low strength ships right now. So, let's see here. That's one, two... We have some damaged submarines in that ship, but none of them have any sort of experience. They're all relatively green, so... we'll just leave them be for now. They can continue fighting, and if we lose a few submarines because of this, so be it. That may be a fairly stupid approach to be taking, but oh well. And now they've decided they've taken enough damage and are going to go back home for some repairs. Hey British, will you stop harassing my fleet while it's busy running away? That's incredibly rude of you. Anyways. Not much, if any, change on the Italian border with France. They're still not too interested in attacking me here. And right now I seem to be losing more than I'm gaining in terms of the whole submarine war. But I'm hoping we've at least started to make something of a dent in Britain's convoys and supplies, because if we can start weakening their resource production by effectively starving them out with our submarine raids, then that would absolutely be worth it. I need more oil, apparently. Soviet Union, oil, please. Legionary Romania, send me some of your bloody oil. Rubber, I need 14. Siam. Can I trade a little bit of rubber with you? We have a little bit of a tungsten deficit too. How about Portugal? Would you like to trade me a little bit of tungsten? Yeah, you would. Now we're just missing 9 rubber. I may need to throw up a few rubber refineries. Actually. How far are we? 30th of May for that. And then, on the 8th, so in about 6 days, we'll be able to declare war against the Danes. Not long now. Then we can go after Denmark, and then Sweden and Norway, and secure my tungsten supply. Oh, fuck you, Britain. Fuck you. That's Another factory we got done. Give me a little bit more artillery production, please. Okay, come on. Come on. We have our justification now. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I just realized that my webcam was blocking the view of my war theaters, so I'd best move it. Which I went and did. Anyways. This is a good time for the invasion of Denmark, I think. So, you two attack. Just as aggressively as you can, yes. Denmark has joined the Allies. Because of course they have. We are immediately at 91% progress over here. I'm going to leave us on 3 speed for now, as we attack Denmark. Army Innovations 2. And now... let's see... There's around Maginot. I'm gonna get this just so I can skip the process of having conquer focus against Norway. You might consider that a dumb reason, but whatever. But I will say this about the Danes. They're holding out a hell of a lot better in this than they did historically, because I don't remember the exact length of time the German invasion of Denmark lasted, but I do know that it was in the hours range. It was like 10 hours or something, unless I'm completely misremembering that. But yeah, the conquest of Denmark was not a challenging thing for Germany in our real-world history. That much I know for certain. Would one of you please take Aarhus there? Okay. You up for surrender now, Denmark? They are not. So I guess we'll be taking over the rest of their damn country then, won't we? Oh. There's also the fact that we have not occupied Copenhagen yet, which is their freaking capital. But now, it's effectively curb stomp territory with the Danes. Aw, that's so cute. Denmark thinks it has a chance of victory. That's just adorable. It really is just so precious. Now everyone else can go over there and attack Copenhagen, just to finish it off more quickly. How many unassigned divisions are there right now? Just the 2. I'm gonna start another army with them. Not Kiel. Yes, I'll have to wait until we get a few more troops up to do it, but I want to garrison Denmark and prevent rebellions. Yeah, that's one of the issues you run into playing as Germany or any other aggressive expansionist nation who's going to be at war for a long time in Hearts of Iron 4 is that and Denmark has now capitulated, giving us access to a tiny amount of equipment that's basically irrelevant in terms of numbers. But yeah, that's one of the problems with playing as one of these aggressive expansionist nations. Just that, in general, you require a lot of available troops around. Also, war justification against the Swedes, please? Yeah, if you want to be able to really do a lot of stuff and conquer and such, like you probably want to, then you have to have access to a hell of a lot of troops to sit around acting as garrisons. Otherwise, you will have the problem that you're not going to be able to really use the places you're occupying. Because the bulk of them will have a load of instability issues, since partisans will just go around wrecking your factories and everything. Which, surprise, surprise, is kind of a pain in the ass. Apparently we can't make a defensive line along the Swedish border because it's across a crossing. We question Dutch sovereignty. Let's see. Iceland takes control of its foreign affairs. With the capitulation of its union partner Denmark, the Icelandic parliament has taken control of its own foreign affairs, and in doing so has essentially become a fully independent nation. The newly elected provisional governor has already proclaimed Icelandic neutrality, despite the invasion of its parent nation. Yes, neutrality did not save Denmark, but to be perfectly honest, I do not care about Iceland. They're basically irrelevant. I mean, the United States or the UK might be tempted to use them as a landing point for a future invasion, but for the moment I think they can safely be ignored. And in June, we will be able to invade Sweden. Let's see. what do I need now? 4. I'm going to put all of it into infantry equipment, because we're still upgrading to the modern standards with that, so might as well.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Speaking of, you guys, I have set to garrison. I should just specify this. Just reduce resistance to occupation.
Ihre Befehle.
That's all you need to do. Make them less bitchy at us for occupying their nation. In May, we'll be able to go after the Netherlands. With that claim, Special Forces research is done. Get me paratroopers too. Speaking of paratroopers, how are we doing with this? Yeah, speaking of paratroopers, I need to start being able to produce transport planes, because if we do not have transport planes, then we can't transport our paratroopers to where they're going. Oh, by the way, submarines have a couple more naval dockyards. The Soviet Union is failing to send us all the oil we require, but it doesn't seem to have really had an effect yet. And we currently need 0 rubber, apparently. How does that work exactly as a need? I'm struggling to think of how it would work. Hello? Do we need, like, less than 1 unit of rubber? Is that what they're saying? So that's the only thing I can honestly think of. That the amount we need is less than 1 full unit. Yes. Our naval battles have not gone well so far. And a lot of our ships are just getting hammered. The war with France focus has been passed. Operation Weserüberung has also been completed. I mean, we have that claim. But I'm going to pick around Maginot now. I'll give us the foci on all of these guys. I mean, I'm not going to need every single one of them, but I mean, I'll get what I can. Let's see. There's another division down here. You can join up with that and just complete what I am going to need to keep control of Denmark without occupation problems. So let's see. That's the Kriegsmarine and study for the submarines. If possible, I'd like to tell our subs to not go out again, Because we need to build them up some more. I am having serious problems. Sorry about that, everyone. I had a goddamn phone call with no one on the bloody other end of the phone. I detest this sort of thing. I truly do. So now we are... Let's see. About 3 months away from going to war with the Netherlands. And about 4 months away with Sweden. Which we really need to get Sweden under our control because... Oh, for fuck's sake. That's fine, that I do not... Seriously, Carl. Seriously. Get your ass back in port and stay there. What part of stop fighting the damn British do you not understand? You're a fucking submarine group. It's not that hard to stay hidden. God. And fuck you British, stop harassing my submarines. Seriously, fuck you. One of our ace pilots has been promoted, so we get some war support. But if I remember right, we lose said war support when our aces get shot down. Let's see. Let's just fire at will or do not engage. I'm keeping an eye on this fleet. They're probably going to need a bit of help, as they don't seem to want to stay away from the front lines, and I need to keep them grounded for a long while now. And we've lost a lot of our submarines that were not real. We lost a lot of the submarines that managed to sink people, which is very annoying. But those subs are staying in port. The Italians are somehow managing to push through France and take over parts of their country. Okay, so I can cancel our war justification not there, since around Maginot is now finished. That will allow me to go to war with certain other people. So now, let's move into strategic air efforts, so I can start getting better with that whole thing. No, by the way, Netherlands, I'm conquering you.
Ihre Befehle? Angetreten.
Let's see.
Befehle?
4 divisions. The UK is joined in, and the Dutch are part of the Allies now. I am going to push into the Netherlands now. Once we occupy them, I'll push into Belgium, I think. And just looking at the amount of time this recording's been going on for, I've been playing for the better part of an hour now, so I think once we finally finish off the Dutch and secure their country, I will probably stop the episode for today. We're questioning Swedish sovereignty, of course, because I have to attack them to make sure that I retain access to the tungsten that I need for my medium tanks. And if the British were ever able to convince the Swedish to bail on our trade agreement, that would really screw me over. The Netherlands, they are already 80% towards capitulation. We just need another 16% of their victory points and they will surrender. And we'll have control of their homeland. I mean, for goodness sake, we own their capital already. We've almost got them. Just a little bit more. They should surrender now. Yes, indeed. The Dutch have capitulated. We get a bunch of their equipment out of that deal. 27,000 rifles, 674 support, and like 1.2k other. They managed to hold out in that one in The Hague, probably because of British, and the British sending naval support or some such. Let's see, Army 5, where are you? Yeah, these guys now. I am going to arrange along the offensive line for Belgium. It shouldn't take too long for them to get into position, then all three armies can start that offensive. I'll just give them the chance to get into position first. Then I will declare on Belgium, and from there, push into France. Their Maginot Line is not going to stand up to Germany's new Blitzkrieg offensive. Slovakia is sending us 1 division. That's nice. We have free dockyards. 1920. For whatever reason, I can't add on any more submarines there, so I'm just going to cheat a little bit. And put them in through another location. Now, let's see. All my troops that we have along the Belgian border, well, not quite all of them are in position. We have one more division that needs to get into their spot. There. For... let's see. We've got the Belgian border well covered now, I think. But even though I don't think it'll crash or anything, just in case there's a problem, I'm gonna take this chance to save my game. Now, we're going to war with Belgium, which means the French can now march their troops into our territory, or into Belgium, rather I should say. Now, let's get this attack started. Army 6. So that's a mere 8 divisions. How did I manage to only have 8 divisions on the border with Belgium? I think I must have accidentally moved some of the ones from Belgium to the Netherlands, honestly. Would be my guess. They've joined the Allies now, so... both of you, attack as aggressively as you bloody well can. And then, once you finish with that, I'm going to be a little ambitious and say, I want you to start working on moving down into French territory. Find armies. 6. 24. Yes, keep up your offensive, but once you're done, continue on into France. Those are my orders. And I'll get people for the occupation of the Low Countries later. It's not important. But Belgium has capitulated. I'd be surprised if that whole conflict lasted 2 months, to be brutally honest. But now Luxembourg's just sitting here in the middle of the country, completely unannexed. To be honest, I think I'm just gonna leave them be for now. We can invade Luxembourg once we finally put down the French. So for the time being, Luxembourg, you get to live until we've finished with France. So enjoy your remaining time as an independent country and not being part of the greater German Reich, because it won't last that long. As you see, we've just basically, as happened historically, I am completely outflanking the actual French army camped on the border, and we are just carving a swath into French territory. And I've already taken Paris. It's March 1940 and Paris has already fallen. Oh god, this is just great. Of course, I'm gonna need some occupation forces eventually. You guys kill those assholes. Somehow Belgium's remaining forces managed to get all the way over there. The fall of Paris! Oh my god! Oh my god! The 1st of April 1940 and France has surrendered! Oh fucking hell! We get a bunch of stuff off of them. The fall of Paris. Yes, and France has capitulated, but god damn it, Italy got most of France. Look, you Italian bastards, I did all the real fighting. I didn't do it for you to walk in here and just take what's mine. That's it, I'm declaring war on Luxembourg. I gotta get something out of this, goddammit. And somehow I don't think Italy is going to be willing to give up any of their occupied territory to us. Oh, fuck you, Italy! Fuck you! Seriously, fuck you, Italy! Fucking Italy thinks they deserve to control most of France. You did jack shit. You won a couple of battles along the French border, and that is all. I'm the one who actually won this war, and Italy's just fucking taking all of France. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Seriously, fuck you, Italy. Fuck you. Luxembourg has capitulated. Yes, thank you. Now, I'm invading Switzerland. I don't fucking care. I need to get something for myself. You bastards. Fucking Italy. This is why Italy is terrible. They just walk in at the last minute and take everyone else's goddamn credit. Fuck Italy. Fuck Italy! I won that fucking war! I want my proper gains out of it, Italy! God damn you! Fuck you! Fuck you, Italy! Fuck you! Whatever. I'm taking Sweden and Norway. And Italy, when the British decide to march into fucking northern France, or whatever, I'm not giving it back once I liberate it. Screw you! Screw the lot of you! Fuck you, Italy. Fuck you.
Zuhören! Zuhören!
And you guys move over there as well. I'm taking over Switzerland. Well, this has just changed the name of this goddamn episode because I am so pissed off at Italy. I was going to name it And It Is War to follow up on the whole theme I was going with from last time with Danzig and War or all that, but no. I'm changing the name of this episode to Fuck Italy. Because fuck them. Seriously, fuck them. And when I go after the goddamn... And when I decide I have to go and invade the fucking Soviets, I am not inviting Italy to the party. Those bastards. $85 days? No. The question of Yugoslavia, eh? We now stand supreme in Europe. France was the foundation of stability in southeastern Europe, but the entire area is up for grabs. Pull all the nations there into our orbit with no one left to stop us. It's time to tell the Yugoslavians they have to make a choice. Either they stand with us or they will be swept away. Yes, our patience is running thin. Maybe we'll invade them too. And maybe I won't invite the fucking Italians to participate. Italy, screw you. Again, unfair share of occupied territory. I defeated France. That was all me. You did jack shit. Oh, would you look at that? Sardinia is being invaded by the British. Have fun dealing with that. I am not helping you. Screw you. Anyways, I think I am going to end this episode here. This has been DarkPhoenix Gaming. In this episode, I took over Poland, as well as Denmark, and the Low Countries, and then got screwed out of owning France by the fucking Italians. So, join me next time where I will be invading Sweden, Norway, and probably Switzerland. I may also decide to go after the Balkans at some point, but who knows. And don't forget, fuck Italy! See you next time!